Was I even recording? So the very first document that you need to submit, which I didn't add to the list, is the statement of purpose. That is like the number one document before the other supporting documents. These other supporting documents would be listed below the statement of purpose. Like that is how I wrote mine. Okay, so after writing my statement of purpose, below the statement of purpose, I then listed out all the supporting documents I had and then I uploaded them. So the statement of purpose is really important. It's how you communicate with the visa officer. If you know about Canada visa application, you would know that there is no one-on-one interview. It's just online. You just submit your documents. So this is how you're going to, introduce yourself and explain yourself to the visa officer, talking about, you know, who you are, introducing yourself, and what are your intentions basically. So I'm going to make another video talking about how I wrote my statements of purpose, like the important things that should be in your statement of purpose. Like I wrote my statement of purpose by myself. I didn't pay anyone to write it for me, and it was perfect. God helped me to come up with, great ideas that I put in my statement of purpose, which was really outstanding. And yes, the statement of purpose is a very important document, and it's the number one document. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sandra. I'm an international student currently in Canada. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about all the documents that I submitted for my study permit. So in my previous video, I talked about how I applied for my study permit on my own without an agent, and I was approved in my first attempt. So in this video, I'm going to be listing out all the documents that I submitted for my study permit application. So in this particular video, I'm just going to be talking about the documents, the supporting documents that I submitted, because when you're applying for your study permit, you would see that there are different sections and the client information section. So the client information section is where you have to take advantage of and submit all the documents that you feel would help you in your application. Any story that you're telling in your statement of purpose, this section is where you're going to submit documents to back it up. The client information section is really important and you need to take advantage of it. Even though when you're applying, you would see that the client information section is tagged as optional, but it's not optional, it's very important. This is where you submit your statement of purpose, which is very, very important, which is where you explain yourself to the visa officer. So it's not optional, you have to submit documents there. You need to submit really important documents. So I have my laptop down here in case you see me looking down. I'm just looking at the list because I made a list of all the documents I submitted. So I'm just going to be reading it out from my laptop. So the first document I submitted is my certificate of origin, right? So I mean, as a Nigerian, you should have your certificate of origin from whatever state that you come from. So I submitted my certificate of origin. The second document I submitted is my national ID slip, because you have to show your identity, even though you're also going to submit your passport. If you have your national ID slip, submit it. So the third document I submitted is my birth certificate. I submitted my birth certificate. You have to submit that. Another document I submitted is my WAEC certificate. I submitted my WAEC certificate. It is important. Another document I submitted is my BSc degree certificate. So, if you graduated from a university or polytechnic, whatever degree, you need to submit your certificate to show them. So, don't think that these documents they are not listed, so you don't have to submit. They are really important. If you don't submit it, sorry, but you need to submit these documents. The sixth document I submitted is my school transcript. I submitted the student copy of my school transcript because that's what I had. The seventh one is my IELTS results. So I wrote IELTS before I even started applying to schools. Not because my school needed it, but I just felt like I should just write it, just prepared in case of anything. So I wrote my IELTS, and it's also necessary to write. It's important that you write your IELTS if you are planning on taking the NSE route, which is the Nigerian Students Express Entry route, which is supposed to make your visa application faster. You should get your feedback within 20 days. So if you want to take the NSE route, you need to have your IELTS result. The next document I submitted is my NYSC certificate. So as a Nigerian and you graduated from a school in Nigeria, you should have your NYSC certificate. So you need to submit this. It's important that you submit this. So I submitted my NYSC certificate. The next document I submitted is my police character certificate. This is really important. You need to submit your police character certificate. You can get this from a police station near you. Just go there and tell them you want to get a police clearance certificate. This is really important when you're applying for your visa because they want to see that you're a good citizen who has not committed any crime and they are not bringing in a criminal into their country. So you have to submit a police character certificate to show that you're a good citizen. The next document I submitted my sponsor's birth certificate. So I was sponsored by my sibling, my brother. So if you're being sponsored by a relative, a sibling, or an uncle, or whatever, you have to show them that this person is actually your relative. Like you have to prove how you both are related, even if it's your parents that are sponsoring you. You have to prove how you people are actually related. So you need to show them something to prove that okay, this person is actually your sibling or your uncle or your mom or your dad or whoever you claim they are to you. So you need to show them. So I showed my sponsor's birth certificate because obviously it had our parents' name on it, our mom, my dad, and they are all the same. So yeah, that's the reason why I submitted my sponsor's birth certificate. I also submitted my sponsor's passport biodata page. This is important. And yep, I submitted my sponsor's biodata page. And I also submitted my parents, my mom's passport biodata page, your basically all your family members passports. If they have passport or any form of identity, you have to submit their ID, whether passport or national ID. You have to submit all your family members. I'm talking about immediate family members. You need to submit all their ID when you are applying because you want to show that you actually have family members. So yeah, that's the idea. Okay, so I had a land gift. So if you have a land gift, you need to show them that you have something that is going to bring you back home. So if you have a landed property whatsoever, you have to, show them that stuff. So I show them the survey plan. I had the survey plan of the land. So I submitted this document. Then the next document I submitted was the land gift power of attorney document. Okay, showing that this land has been transferred from my dad to me. Yep. So just basically trying to prove out that this is actually my land, wherever. So The next document I submitted was affidavit of return home. That was the first thing I called it when I went to the court. I said I wanted to swear an affidavit of return home, which was basically stating that I was going to Canada to go and study, and that I intended to come back home. I don't intend to stay in Canada after my studies. I was basically pledging to come back home after my studies. So I went to swear an affidavit of return home. But when I got to the court, they said it will be called affidavit of facts. So, well, the name was changed to affidavit of facts, but the content remained the same, which was basically me saying that I was going to come back home after my studies. Then the next document I submitted was my job offer letter. So if you have a job before applying, I would advise that you meet your employee and tell them that they should give you, something to show the visa officer that, oh, you have this job and that you're coming back to it after your studies. So you're not basically trying to run away. You have a job that is waiting for you back home, so obviously you have to come back. You have something to come back to, right? So for me, I got a job offer letter. If you have some, if you can get like a job offer letter just to show that, oh, you have this job offer that is waiting for you back home, that is going to pay you so amount of money, and in a year, whatever, just get it done. So for me, my brother just you know wrote a job offer letter for me, that he was offering me, that I had a job offer in his establishment, in his business, and after my studies I was going to come back and take up this role. So yeah, that's just part of the proof of home ties. Basically, you're just trying to show home ties, that you have something that is going to bring you back home after your studies. So it's not going to be like you're planning to run away, right? Because you're just trying to prove to them. You always keep this in mind, that your aim is to prove to them that you're coming back to your country after your studies, and you're not just trying to Japa. You're trying to you're going to study and you're going to come back. So whatever you can do to just prove to them that you have things that are going to bring you back home, then just show them whatever document to prove, show them. So yes, I showed the job offer letter. Then the next document I showed was okay, I had like awards from school that I got. So just to show that you're an outstanding citizen or whatever, if whatever, just to show that you're a good person, you're involved in whatever stuff. So I had some academic awards from school, and I yeah, I took pictures of the awards and I presented them. I showed them as part of the documents, as part of my supporting documents. So if you have any of those, you have like maybe awards, even if it's not academic, it might be maybe social awards, whatever it is, it's necessary. Like whatever documents that would, it's like your CV, whatever document that would build you up, that would make you look like a good citizen, an outstanding citizen, because they don't want to bring in just anyone into their country. They want people who are of good character and who have proved themselves in the society. So yeah, if you have any of such documents from your workplace, awards from your workplace, whatever, please submit it. So yeah, I submitted all those awards. I did like should I say like a job before I traveled. It was like an internship, a paid internship. So I showed them the acceptance mail I got, and I showed them, the payments I received, because I had some money saved up in my own personal account, even though I wasn't my sponsor, but I I had some money saved up, and I showed them that okay, this is the money, this is how I got the money. I got the money from this job that I did. So I showed them, the payment slip from the job that I did, and I showed them my personal savings account. Get so if you have money saved up from your job, even if you're not the one sponsoring yourself, it's okay for you to show your own um personal savings account, even if you don't have so much money, whatever it is that you have, just show them, just show that, or you have some money too for yourself, right? I got a reference later from my where I did my NYSC, my PPA. So I got a reference letter from them. I submitted the reference letter. So it's a good thing for you to, get reference letters from people, whether lecturers or your boss or um your church leader, your pastor, all this type of people that can, speak well for you. Anyone that can speak well for you, just it's good to have reference later. It actually helps because these are things that would help you. Like you might not you might feel like I'm doing too much, but no, you're not doing too much. Trust me, like you're this is what they want. So bring all these things to prove to them. I also got a reference later from my boss in the job that I did, just before I applied the paid internship that I did. I got a reference later from my boss. I also got a reference later from my pastor, and I told my pastor that I wanted to travel and all of this stuff, and they should just write something for me, and they did. And all this helps. Like if you can get it, like if it's possible for you to get it, please try your best to get them and submit it. It would really help in your application, trust me. I took pictures with my family, my siblings. You're trying to prove to them that you have home ties, you have people back at home that you're going to come back to, that you're not just alone or you don't have anyone. So I took pictures with my siblings, and I also submitted the picture showing that yeah, I have family. The last thing I submitted was I took a picture with the commissioner of police in Ibadan when I was serving. And it was just like a very rare occasion, and I just took a picture with the commissioner. And when I was applying, I submitted that picture. Yes, I wanted to show them I'm not a criminal and I'm a good citizen. And look at me taking a picture with the commissioner of police. It wasn't just the commissioner of police, like it was like in the police barracks. So I was surrounded by other policemen. It was like an official picture, and I found myself there. And I just felt like, yeah, this would be a good thing to show them. So I submitted that picture. Like, that's what I mean by whatever it is that you have that can help in your application. It doesn't matter whether it is stated that you should submit, even if it's not stated. Most of these things were not stated, they didn't ask for it, but these are like supporting documents, things that I believe would help in my application, and I didn't fail to submit them. So if you have anything that you feel like would help in your application, please be sure to submit it. So yeah, we've come to the end. These are the documents that I submitted for my study permit, my supporting documents. So I'm going to make another video talking about, the documents I submitted for my proof of funds, documents I submitted to show proof of funds, because it's a different section. So look out for that video, and yeah, this is all I have for you. Thank you very much. My name is Sandra, and please subscribe to my channel. Bye.